Everybody, thank you for joining. Uh, Welcome to our final Changemaker Summer webinar session. Actually, can you believe it? Summer is wrapping up wildly, and let me just tell you again, we're grateful you are joining us today. And oh boy, do we have a treat for you. You are lucky to be here because the one and only Floyd Jones will be joining us here shortly. Oh my goodness. We are thrilled to welcome our good friend back on the Give Butter stage today. And if you've heard Floyd speak, you know you're going to be leaving the session feeling encouraged and motivated and inspired with today's topic, building a movement, not just a campaign. Powerful stuff. And Floyd is a powerful speaker, so we are excited. But again, please do drop your name, your organization, and your cause, and where you're located in that chat. We do want to welcome you to the room. We're excited to have you here. Hello, Sheila. Welcome. Queen Sheba is back. Please, thank you for being here. Please join us. Suzanne, Lynn, Daphne, welcome. It's so great to see you all here from all across the country. Okay, we love to see that. Daphne is from Tennessee. Welcome, Meredith, from the Red Tent Fund in New York City. Beautiful. Welcome, friends. Welcome. You know, it always makes our heart buttery when we see you all of our fam here in the webinar sessions with us. And of course, my name is Stephanie. I am your Give Butter webinar host, and I'm zooming in from Howell, Michigan, our beautiful state here up north. And as always, it is a pleasure to learn with you and to be here with you as we talk to incredible people just like our wonderful friend Floyd. So, as our friends continue to trickle in, let's go ahead and review some housekeeping reminders. First of all, the recording and slides will be emailed to you after the webinar. Have no fear. Please use the Q&A to ask questions, but keep the comments and emojis rocking in the chat. We always want to hear from you. And please keep the chat respectful and kind. Come on, you always do. You're the best, right? And I also happen to know that my butter bestie Claudia has some exciting updates to share with us today. Claudia, what's the good word?
Hello, Stephanie. I am so excited for this webinar. It's so lovely to have Floyd back joining us. I see so many familiar names in the chat as well. And I want to just welcome all of our new changemakers out there who are joining us for the first time. My name is Claudia. I am the customer education manager here. If we take it to the next slide here, I am going to be bringing you the latest updates here. So, pardon me, if we go back one more slide here, I just want to introduce Give Butter to our, other way. I want to take a quick minute to remind our new changemakers and existing changemakers of all that you can do with Give Butter. So we are what we consider the home for nonprofits. So we have all of these fundraising tools in one platform. Yes, we can finally ditch the multiple tabs and passwords. So we have everything you need from campaign options. We have a built-in CRM, marketing tools for your email, texting, and direct mail communications. We also have a free mobile app. I definitely encourage you all to download this. This is going to allow you to manage your fundraising, events, and donors right from your iOS or Android device. Now, if we take it to the next slide here, I know some of you may be thinking about how you're going to engage the next generation of donors. Yes, they are online, they are mobile first. You are in the right place. GiveButter now offers Cash App as a payment method on all campaigns. So this is your perfect opportunity to attract that massive mobile first audience that are ready to give on the go. And we do see a higher donor conversion rate here versus credit card or debit cards as a payment method, which is very fun to see. Now, GiveButter is actually the only platform that has the most payment methods available for your donors. So we are going to be helping you reach and inspire every type of donor, regardless of their payment preference. Yes, very nice, Margot. And if we take it to the last, the next slide here. Awesome. We know that strong relationships don't happen by accident. They start with robust data that you can actually use and be proactive with. So, in our newest Get Better Academy course, I'm going to show you how to maximize all of our CRM features so you can make sure that you keep your data clean and updated. That link is in the chat there. Thanks, Brooke. So that your donors and their gifts do not slip through the cracks. So, we'll take a look at how to segment your contacts for reporting, how to segment your contacts from a personalized outreach as well if you plan on using GiveButter's tools. Guaranteed here, there are going to be nuggets of information that you may not have previously considered. So it's not just for our new change makers, it's also for those of you existing and loyal butter slices. And then one more update here I want to share with everyone. Hello, Queen Sheba. This August, we are celebrating Black Philanthropy Month by giving back $10,000 to Black-led nonprofits. So to participate, go on and submit your Get Better campaign link, raise at least $1,000 this month, and you could be one of 10 recipients awarded $1,000. I know Queen Sheba has her application in. She checked in with me earlier this week. So applications close next week, exactly in 1 week. So be sure to submit your application by next Wednesday, August 27th, midnight Eastern time. And I am so excited to pass it on over to Floyd, who was the brain of this whole program here at Give Better and Black Philanthropy Month.
Thank you, Claudia. Oh my goodness, such exciting updates. And I cannot wait to learn who the recipients are of this year's BPM Give Back. Oh my goodness. And yes, Floyd is in the house. It is time. It is what you all have been waiting for. We are about to introduce our most special and incredible guest. The Floyd Jones is a speaker, coach, and community builder dedicated to helping nonprofits and purpose-driven entrepreneurs create sustainable, engaged communities that drive lasting impact. With the track record of turning followers into loyal supporters through a community-first approach, Floyd equips leaders with actionable strategies to grow their reach, deepen connections, and inspire consistent support. As the founder of BackBlack, an initiative that has raised over 2 million with an M for Black-led nonprofits and global chair of Black Philanthropy Month, Floyd has built programs and partnerships that scale engagement. His work has been featured by ESPN, LinkedIn, Afrotech, Variety, and Wired, and supported by brands including Nike, Whole Foods, Visa, and NBA 2K. Floyd, you've been busy. Welcome back to the Give Butter stage, my friend.
Stephanie, hello. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be here, to see you, to be back in action. How are my people? I'm seeing my people in the chat. Pete Tyrone is in the house. Queen Sheba, we need to talk because I need to borrow that name, okay? Come on, somebody. Tarika's in the house. Who else we got in the house? Vincent's in the house. Christina's in the house. Natalie is in the house. Oh, my people, it is so good to be here. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Floyd, can I just tell you, we are a buzz over here. We are buzzing to have you back on the stage. We are so excited. People are lighting up that chat. Listen, we must wait no more for your words. I'm going to go silent and let you dig in and do your magic.
I love it. I love it. Okay, real quick, I want to just do a quick roll call. I'm also seeing my cousin Drew is in the house. Who else we got? Judy's in the house. Joan is in the house. Come on, somebody. Gabriel's in the house. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we are going to get into it, okay? All right, y'all, we are talking all things community as a catalyst, and we're talking how are you building a movement and not just a campaign, right? And you can't build a movement, okay, without people going with you. I always say it's not a movement if you're going by yourself, right? If you know me, I always say if you want to go fast, you got to go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you're going to go together, okay? As Stephanie mentioned, my name is Floyd Jones. I am based out of New York City, although I am in Atlanta currently because we are having an event in the city tomorrow night. If you are around in Atlanta, go to our website and make sure you register. Over 200 Changemakers are signed up for our event tomorrow night. It's gonna be fire. Okay. Speaking of fire, let's keep the party going. I am a speaker, coach, and community builder, and I am the founder of BackBlack, we exist to help direct capital, enhance capacity, and raise visibility for Black-led nonprofits. And this month, right now, August, is going down, okay? This month is Black Philanthropy Month, which was started over 2 decades ago by Dr. Jacqueline Copeland, and we are focusing on raising awareness for Black-led organizations and directing that money. Thank you, shout outs to Give Butter for being a part of our campaign. I love working with grassroots organizations. I love working with organizations like you all in the chat today, and we are going to get into it, okay? Because I want to help you raise that money. Why do I want to help you raise that money? Because your organization deserves to be seen and it deserves to be supported. You are on the front lines of your community making change, making impact, making a difference, okay? And so we are gonna make some dollars for that, okay? Because you need to be supported. You gotta be sustained. Am I right? Or am I right? Okay? Who else we got in the chat? Kim said, come on, Kim. Queens, come on now. I love it. All right, if you are ready to go, I want to see ready in the chat, okay? I want to hear who is ready to go. Who is ready to go? Jeanette is ready. Sean is ready. Drew is ready. P. Tyrone is ready. I love that. Stephanie is ready. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's get into it, okay? All right. I want to know, what did you want to be when you was growing up? What was you trying to go for when you was growing up? Because I want to see it. Oh, someone said paleontologist. Okay. Lawyer, jockey, a nurse, pediatrician. Seriously, a nun? Oh my God, I love that. Artist, Alvin Ailey dancer. You know, we just had somebody from Alvin Ailey featured in our campaign. Musician, marine biologist. Tim said, I didn't have an idea. Tim, I'm with you, Sam. Marine biologist, model. Okay, I love to see it. Well, for me, I wanted to be a soccer player, believe it or not. Okay, I wanted to be a soccer player. I was ready to hit goal. Okay, my family is from Sierra Leone, West Africa, so soccer was very, very important. We would be playing soccer outside, all over the place. Okay, and so my mom, when I was younger, this is my big brother, by the way. This is my brother Wayne. He played soccer. Okay, so he was enrolled in soccer, and so I was trying to follow in his footsteps. I had the phase where I was just trying to do everything that he was doing, and so he played soccer. I said, I got this too. Like, give me a headband, give me some cleats, give me some shin guards, and it's gonna be fine. We're gonna do what has to be done. Okay, come on, somebody. And so I remember signing up for soccer, getting ready to go. Even in the trainings or the practices as they were called, I remember going through like the drills, and I wasn't really paying attention. And maybe that should have been some foreshadowing, but it's fine. Anyhow, fast forward to our first game, okay? I'm sitting on the sidelines, ready to go, ready to play this game. And they finally said, okay, Floyd, it's time. Like, it's your moment, all right? And I was like, hey, here we go. Come on, somebody. You can't tell me nothing, okay? Now, as you can see from this picture, my head was a little bit bigger than the rest of my body, okay? But we figured it out. We got the proportions together. I was a little bit of a waddle, but we made it work, okay? And so I was in the game. They finally passed the ball to me, okay? And I was running for my life, okay? I was running at the speed of light. You could not tell me nothing, okay? And I had asthma at the time, so I was taking like 3 steps, got a quick inhaler. I took a couple more steps, got a quick inhaler puff. But you know what? I said, we're going to still make it, okay? Running for my life. I get to the goal. I wind up. I put my foot back, just like I did here. You see these cute little shoes? And I said, this is my moment. No one's going to stop me now, okay? I kicked that ball so hard, I almost flipped it for myself. But y'all, I scored. Okay, I scored that ball and I was so excited. I was so happy. When I turned around, I was expecting to see all my team members cheering, shouting, saying, Floyd, we're number 1. Go, Floyd. Child, why was this then? Apparently, I had scored in the wrong goal. Like, nobody told me that I was going to, like, why didn't they? I turned around, I saw juice boxes flying. I saw gushers in the sky. I saw parents doing one of these. My mom even went like, and I said, Mom, you better look up. You better look up, okay? I said, Mother, maybe this is not my calling. Maybe this is not, but I still got a participation trophy. So come on, somebody, for the participation trophies. I don't know if anybody resonates with that, but all right. So anyhow, It was a surprise to me when my first big fundraising gig was at a sports-based organization. Now, one thing that I have noticed in my life, and one thing when you're building a movement and you're building an organization, is that your life is always speaking to you. Your life is always speaking to you, okay? And forgive me, y'all. If you've been to any one of my talks, I go a little off script, but something is hitting me right now, and I want you to understand your life is always speaking to you. So when I was growing up, I realized, and I don't have those pictures today, but I've been through many of phases, okay? I had the soccer phase. I tried snowboarding at one point. I did kickball at one point. None of them were quite working out, right? And I was like, man, I want to be a part of this community, okay? And I realized something when I got into this job. It wasn't until after I was finished the job, but I realized that maybe there was no spaces created for me when I was growing up, right? I had to be the best, or I had to fit into a box, right? And I said, you know what? I'm going to work hard and create something where it doesn't matter your ability. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter where you live. You can still have the opportunity to be involved. And that was with sports, okay? And so you might be on this call saying, I'm so tired of keeping going. I'm so tired of doing my organization. I'm so tired of trying to raise this money. But no, your yes matters, okay? You are creating a new reality for someone to be able to exist in, okay? You're creating a new reality for someone to be able to thrive in. You are creating another reality for someone to be able to excel in. So keep going. Okay, and that's what I did when I showed up, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, to this organization. Okay, and believe it or not, I was the first full-time hire, the first full-time fundraiser at this organization. My salary was even covered by the chairman of the organization, and our mission was to make sports free for every child in America. And I said, let's do it. We're gonna make this happen. Tell me why I opened up the books and just said, who is in the donor database, and ain't nobody was there. I said, how are we gonna? Because one thing a lot of people don't understand is that even if you go to a free event or even if you go to a free program, we all know it's not free. Am I right? We all know it's not free. Am I correct? Right? And so we have to do the work. And so when I opened up that database and I said, but where are the names at? Like, where are the donors? They were like, we don't have any donors. And I said, okay, we'll have to figure this out. We needed $5,000 for an 8-week program. Okay, we needed $5,000 because that would cover the field. It would cover the snacks. I was a little triggered because I saw more juice boxes and I thought that they were coming at me, but it's okay. I said we're gonna figure this out. Okay. But we need to get the snacks. We gotta get the equipment. We gotta get the jerseys, right? So we had to raise $5,000, and so everyone was looking at me, talking about how are we gonna make this happen? And I don't know about you, maybe you're a fundraiser for your organization, and everyone's looking at you, talking about how we're gonna make this happen, and you looking at them, talking about I don't know how we're gonna make this happen. Okay, you got to believe in a prayer. Okay, y'all. I said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. On Giving Tuesday, I want everyone, every volunteer, every program partner, every parent, if you even knew how to say the word sport, I said, I need you to change your profile picture to a picture of you as a child playing a sport, okay? Playing a sport as a child. Why? Because we were making sports free for every child in America, okay? And I was so surprised. Because on Giving Tuesday, not only did the volunteers change their pictures of them as a child playing a sport, but people were commenting. And they were like, I remember when I was a child playing soccer. And I remember when I was a kid playing basketball. Or my child is now playing lacrosse. We wanted the lacrosse people to actually donate because the lacrosse people, anyway, that's a separate conversation. But anyhow, and people were commenting and sharing and changing their profile pictures. People wouldn't even ask to change their profile pictures were getting involved, right? And so I was amazed because on Giving Tuesday, we didn't just raise no $30,000. We didn't raise no $5,000. We ended up raising, oh yeah, this is me as a child, by the way. You see baseball phase. I still got it with a little smile here. Okay. But we didn't raise no $5,000. We ended up raising over $30,000 in a day. Over $30,000 in that day. I was blown up. I remember driving home that night shaking. I was like, wait, what? Huh? And I started to realize the power in people. Because the volunteers, they ended up coming back the following year. They ended up coming back the following year and they said, well, when are we going to do So Every Child Can Play? Remember what I told you before at the beginning where I had an intention and I said, hey, I want to create a world where every child can play because I didn't have that experience. So I branded the campaign, as you can see here, So Every Child Can Play. What you go through, you grow through. Come on, somebody. What you go through, you grow through. You're not going through your circumstance for no reason. You're not going through your issue for no reason. You're not going through your hardship for no reason. You're not going through whatever circumstance you're going through for no reason. You're going through it so you can grow through it and you can help another person grow through it as well. The reason why people got excited and jazzed up and said, I want to get involved in So Every Child Can Play again is because they believe that they were a part of something. So guess what? The following year they came back and they raised over $60,000 for the campaign. And the following year they came back after that and raised over $90,000 for the campaign. And the following year they came back over that and raised over $110,000 for the campaign. Y'all, I'm no longer at this organization, but they are still doing So Every Child Can Play. They are still running their end of year campaign. Guess how much money they raised at the end of last year? Over $210,000. Over 200 in a campaign. And one thing I want to just talk about real quick for just a quick second, because you know me, we're going to have to go off book because when I feel it, okay? This campaign started years ago. Years ago. It started as a seed. So many of us start campaigns. You launch your Give It Or campaign. You launch a crowdfunding campaign, and you're like, well, we didn't raise all the money we wanted to raise, so we're done. That's not a movement. That's not a movement. You don't plant a seed today and say, well, where's the tree tomorrow? What you're doing right now is you are planting that seed that's a tree and you're tilling the soil and you are watering it and you're letting the sun come on it and you are making sure that those roots grow strong. What you are doing is not dumb. What you're doing is not flippant. You are building the roots. So if you haven't seen the tree come out yet, if you haven't seen the fruit come out yet, don't fret, don't fear, don't run away. You're building the roots. And the roots, when they take root, are going to produce the fruit that's going to take you to your future. Come on, somebody. How's that for a quote? Come on, somebody. Are you tracking with me? Okay, so let's keep going. One thing I realized when you're building a campaign, it's not about me. It's not about me, it's about we. It's about building for belonging. You have to build for belonging. People need to be a part of something. I always say if all you want is a donation, then all you're gonna get is a donation. But guess what leaves when the economy is going down? That donation. When things go topsy-turvy, and you see these terrorists outside, right? Your donation is going to go. You're not building for donors, you're building for believers because believers take your organization to its breakthrough. Okay? I love this quote from Brene Brown. We call her Sister Brene in the house. Belonging is being somewhere where you want to be and they want you. Fitting in is being somewhere you want to be, but they don't care one way or another if you're there. Belonging is being accepted for you. Fitting in is being accepted for being like everyone else. Do your volunteers feel like you actually want them, or do they feel like you just want something from them? Do your donors feel like you actually want them, or do they feel like you just want something from them? Because there's a difference. There's a difference. We live in a transactional society right now. Every time you turn on your TV, every time you open up your phone, there's another ad popping up at you. Say, no, I need something. Can I have this? Can I have that? People want belonging. I have been blown away, and we're going to talk about it later. We're hosting an event tomorrow night in Atlanta. Over 200 people have RSVP'd. We only posted about this 2 weeks ago. And I was like, huh? Because people want to be a part of something. They want to build. They want to go deeper with you. Are you giving them the opportunity to do that? Let's keep going. So I talk about the 5 successes of a campaign, but really these are the 5 successes of when you're building a movement, okay? Setting an intention, setting a goal, sharing your story, segmentation, and mobilizing your supporters. Are y'all ready? All right, let's keep going. Okay, setting an intention. Setting an intention. Confirm the why before the what. You have to understand your why before the what. Okay? I talk about this all the time. So many people come to me and they're like, Floyd, I want to raise $1 million. And I'm like, me too. Me too. But what does that $1 million mean? What does that $1 million mean? What is it going to actually do? What is it going to unlock? And why? Why? Remember I said I grew up in an environment where if I didn't meet a specific standard, or if I wasn't good enough, if I wasn't going to be on the Olympics, you know, all those AAUs. Hey, can we talk about that for a second? I don't know. Some of y'all have kids, okay? And the sports is so competitive. It's like, if you're not going to be the next D1 athlete, we don't, this like, maybe try the backyard. And I was like, oh, Lord. No, we wanted to create a high quality, high class environment for every single child, no matter where you were. So that's why I said, so every child can play. That was my intention. You don't always have to know how you're going to accomplish something if you know why you want to accomplish that thing. So many of us are on a mission. So many of us are trying to go and accomplish a major goal. And we see the mountaintop and we get discouraged. We're like, how am I ever going to get up there? No one's asking you to go from the base to the mountaintop today. We want you to take the next step. Take the next step. So set your intention and take the next step. Okay? And remember, an intention is not a goal. A goal serves your intention and not the other way around. So you're not setting arbitrary fundraising goals with no purpose behind it. You're not just saying, I want to raise $1 million for $1 million. No. What is $1 million going to mean for your organization? What's going to be true because you got there? Right? And then you set a goal. Once your intentions are clear, then you set a goal, right? What do you need and why do you need it? Why do you need this thing? And this is where storytelling comes into play, right? How much will it cost to get what you need? And who do you need to be in order to accomplish this goal, right? I have something called the 5 C's of goal setting. And also, I want to say this, a goal is so incredibly important because people need to understand where you and your organization are going, and they need to say, I can see myself going, I want to go there too. If you've ever been into one of my talks, I always say, you are a bridge. You are a bridge. You're a bridge between where your people are and the change that they want to see in the world. You're a bridge between where your people are and the impact that they want to have in their community. You're a bridge between where your people are and the transformation that they want to see in themselves. You're a bridge. So if you're a bridge, that means your job is to set the bricks and get it to the other side, right? People need to know, okay, I want to get on that bridge because it's going to where I need it to go. My mom is so funny because I always tell her when we're driving, I'm in Atlanta right now, so I'm thinking about this. Have y'all heard of the app Waze? I don't know if you need to cut this part out when you put it on the YouTube. I don't know, chat. But the app Waze, I love Waze. I'm a big fan of Waze, okay? And I always tell my mom, you need to use, my mom is still using MapQuest. She's like, I stick by I'm like, mom, like, MapQuest? Like, what? When was the last time that they updated this algorithm? Like, what? She's like, no, I need my map. And I'm like, mom, but she's like, no, Waze tells you all these different directions and all these different, and it gets me confused. I just want to go from point A to point B. And I said, that's a word. I said, that's a word. Because sometimes we keep taking people in every single direction, and people need to know, are you going to get me to my destination? Are you going to get me to the impact that I want to have? Are you going to get me to the change that I want to see? Can I trust you to get me to where I want to go instead of putting me through this back road, climbing over a stormy river? What do they say, over the river, then through the woods to grandma's house? People want to go from A to B, and are you going to get them there? So when you're setting a goal, it has to be clear. Right? How much do you need to raise? What do you need to raise the money for? It needs to be compelling. Why do you need to raise this money? And why should supporters care? Right? What is their connection to the campaign? And also, something that I love about organizations and in our sector is right now, everything is vying for your attention. I always say attention is expensive. That's why they say you got to pay attention. And right now there's inflation out there, so it's even more expensive, okay? But you need something that is compelling, right? We have a privilege. We have an opportunity to tell powerful stories, and that's what's going to capture people's hearts, right? Why should supporters care? You tell them why they should care. It needs to be concise. When do you need to raise these funds by? right? Have a specific end date. I see so many people who have campaigns that have been up since 2 years ago. Ain't nobody doing anything because we're like, well, do you need to raise this now or never? Or because when my bills are due on the 31st, when my rent is due on the first of the month, that's gonna the priority, right? But that's when you say, no, 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 we need to raise this money by XYZ specific date, and you need to get information and get involved. Are you tracking with me? Context. How does this impact your organization at large? So, like I said before, if you hit this goal, if we get to $5,000, maybe your goal is $50,000, right? But if I get to $5,000, is this gonna get me closer to where I need to be in the long run? Is this gonna get me where I need to be in the long run? Right? So context, how does this impact your organization at large? Okay? And community. Who are you serving? Who will be the champions for your cause? Who is gonna go with you? Who is gonna go with you? I never start anything. And if you don't follow me on LinkedIn, follow me because I got a couple things about the results of our current campaign have been blowing my mind. The amount of tens of thousands of people who are going to our website, tens of thousands of people who are taking actions. I'm like, oh, I'm realizing community is key. I don't tell you something that I don't practice in my real life. The examples that you get to see are all real life examples, okay? Who is going with you? You need community to go with you. All right, get your pen and paper out, y'all. Get your pen and paper out because this is what they say, Eminem and 8 Mile, this is the part where the rap breaks down, okay? This is the part where the rap breaks down because I'm going to tell you how, okay? We talk about goals, we talk about intentions. I want you to make sure you get your pencils ready because this is where we're going to go into it. Segmenting your audience is so important. I love that Claudia said that they have a whole CRM course that just dropped. I need to get that link, sis, because this is so important. When I'm working with organizations one-on-one, when I'm talking, when I'm speaking, so many organizations are missing this. You're sending out your email to your whole audience and you're wondering why ain't nobody responding. You're sending out asks to everybody and you're like, why isn't nobody giving? Right? Because you're doing a one-size-fits-all mission and message, and that's not it. One of the things I was going to say, look at the reason why we talk about something, you know, you've ever had that phenomenon where you're like talking, you're like, I really want a new red bicycle. And then you go online and every single time you scroll, you see a new red bicycle. And you're like, I think Amazon and Jeff Bezos and all of them is listening to me. It's because they are. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I promise. But what I'm saying is, all the times you go to your websites and they talk about the cookies and the brownies and the milkshakes and all that stuff, and you say reject or accept, all those different things are picking up information on you. What are they doing? They are segmenting their people. They're not going to waste time, money, energy, effort sending you a blue bicycle when they know you want a red bicycle. Because what would that do? The reason why these companies are worth billions and billions of dollars is because they're segmenting their audience. If they realize the importance of that, why don't we realize the importance of that? Why are we still sending one-size-fits-all messages to our audience? It's time to segment. It's time to go deep. So I'm gonna talk to you about how to do that. Y'all with me? I know I'm talking a lot. Y'all with me? Anybody? Hopefully. Okay. Well, we're gonna get there. All right. So let's talk about moves management. Okay. So one of the things that I always say is that traditional moves management is dead. Why? Because so much of move management is focusing on getting another gift, right? First gift, second gift, multi-year. It's all about continuing to get a gift. Even look at this pyramid, right? You have all your prospects at the bottom, and at the top, what's there? Major donors. We even call them major, right? We're talking about what is their importance to our organization. But what if I told you every prospect is not just a prospect, they represent a promise for your organization? Every prospect is a new opportunity for your organization, right? What if we turned this on its head? What if we flipped this pyramid upside down and talked about how important these prospects are, right? So much of what we do is we focusing on another gift. We're focusing on getting a higher gift. I don't want you to focus on a higher gift. I want you to focus on making your donors a higher version of themselves within your organization. A higher version of themselves within your organization. So I say that there's 4 C's in transformation, 4 C's in community building, okay? One is catalyst. Then it's communicate, convert, and catapult. Okay? First is catalyst. How do you share the spark? And y'all, I found some screenshots here from y'all from what y'all was doing. So I hope this resonates and you see some of the examples. Okay? Share the spark. How are you capturing attention? Right? Are you capturing attention through an event? Are you capturing attention through a social media post? Right? Are you capturing attention through your campaign? The reason why I actually put two arrows here is because a lot of you might find yourself stuck in one of these sections, right? But the first is, how are you sharing the spark? Before you launch anything, you have to ask yourself, remember, how am I getting people's attention? Because again, it's an attention economy. How are you sharing the spark? Then, once you get the spark, once they come into your community, then you have to say, how am I sharing the story? How am I communicating on a deeper level with my people? Right? How will you keep their attention and go deeper? So maybe you're nurturing your audience through email. Maybe you're nurturing them through social, through digital, other forms of engagement like a volunteer day, right? If you look at our organization, I meet with our ops manager literally every month and we figure out how many people are in these buckets because that's your job. Your job is to get them from the spark all the way to the final level, right? So the next is convert, and this is so important. This component is so important because so many people have one CTA, one call to action. That's what a CTA means. You're just saying donate. Okay, and so many people have, but there are so many different levels of where you can put your people. There, and also, let me be very, very clear. I do only want you to have one CTA at a time. Okay, I do want you to only have one CTA at a time. But here's the thing: studies actually show that it takes a person 7 to 8 times of seeing your organization, of getting close to your organization before they take an action. Before they take an action. And most likely, the action is not going to be donate to your organization. Right? So many people, the amount of people who are like, oh my God, Floyd, I love you. Can you join our board? And I'm like, you don't even, what's my middle name? Because a board is a very deep commitment, right? You wouldn't ask somebody on the first date to marry you. And if you do, more power to you. But we don't all live in a Nicholas Sparks novel. Okay? So you say, hey, I meet a person, then I'm gonna take you on a date. Then we're gonna go on a trip. Then you're gonna meet my mama. Okay? And then I'm gonna ask you to marry me. Right? There are levels to it. There has to be levels to your people as well. Right? So step one, maybe it's share a social media post, right? Or make an introduction. Then level two is maybe you become a peer-to-peer fundraiser or you join an online community, right? Maybe level three is now I want you to be a table captain or join our recurring donor program. Maybe level four is, okay, now I want you to join our board or become an ambassador for our organization, right? Now, this is the most important opportunity because even within sharing the opportunity and converting your people, this is now where you can keep them, right? Because you always have an opportunity for growth. So many people say, okay, what about donor fatigue? Or my fatigue, my donors are they're getting fatigue. People aren't sharing our content anymore because you keep hitting them with the same thing over and over again. People want to grow. If you go to backblackmovement.org/get involved, you're gonna see all the different ways that you can get involved in our campaign. I always say there has to be a pathway for people to progress. Okay? Next, catapult. This is where you share the baton. You share the spark, you share the story, you share the opportunity, and then you share the baton. This is where your members take the lead. This is the highest form of engagement, right? It's time for your people to take control. Now they are opening up the doors. They are going to your company and saying, hey, I want you, this company, to make a grant to this organization, right? I want this organization to open up that door for this, right? They are now your ambassadors for your organization. And this is where you're trying to move your people to become. You're trying to get them to become what? The highest version of themselves. All right? And then the last one is CRM. It's a bonus, it's CRM, right? You have to track all of this information. So many of my people, y'all have post-it notes over here, sticky notes over here. You got 52 notes on your cell phone, and you're like, I'm gonna remember all of this. And I'm like, no, no, no. It's not about me, it's about we. And that's why a CRM is so important because it can track the data, it can share the data, it can bring other people into the data, right? And we love our friends at GitButter because they have all that for free. Right? what did I say here? The goal is for growth, not just of the donation, but of the donor. And you got to be able to track every single action that that donor has taken so you can continue to invite them into more. Okay? How do you do that though? A lot of y'all are like, okay, the 4Cs are great. Amen. I know my ABCs. Next time I want you to sing with me, right? Okay. But you need to figure out who is at each level, right? That's what this whole thing is. I'm gonna go back here. You need to know how many people are at my catalyst level, how many people are at my communicate level, how many people are at my convert level, how many people are at my catapult level, right? And a lot of times we can only name our major donors. But can we name our most faithful donors who've been giving the longest? And that's why you need to be able to segment your audience. Okay. So here's exactly how I segment. And when I'm working with an organization, I'll say, hey, we're going to choose one or two of these things. Okay. Another one to write down. One is recency. How long have your donors been giving? This is so important. I just asked that question. A lot of times we can name our biggest donor, but can you name the longest donor to your organization? Right? Legacy donors, so people who've been giving for multiple years. Frequency. How often do donors give? And yo, I want you to take this list, and when you're back with your team or when you're reflecting on this, choose 2 or 3 of these things to go into your database and go into your CRM and segment your audience based off of these things. Okay? Frequency. How often are donors giving? Are they giving monthly, quarterly, annually, one time? Method. How are donors giving? Are they giving via social media, email, text, Cash App? Because thank you, Give Butt Out. We know we have Cash App now, right? How are your donors giving? In person, check. Believe it or not, the people still love check. I remember my new apartment in NYC. I was like, okay, I'm ready to pay the rent. They said we only take check. I was like, I can't live here. Like, huh? How did what? But believe it or not, the check is still going strong. Okay. I know some of y'all are out there tried and true. All right. But how are donors giving? You need to track that. Track that. Do your letter writing campaign so you can track it. Amount. How much are donors giving? Right? Low, medium, and high. And this is so subjective. Okay. $10 to you might be a little bit. $10 to me might be a lot. Right? You decide. You decide. One thing I'm so excited about is I started using AI, and I'm not sure if Gibbler does this or not, but I started using AI to help me segment my audience, segment our database. And you just remove the names, obviously, come on, somebody, privacy, but you can still segment based off of your list. And you can say, okay, hey, how many donors do I have in my low tier? How many donors do I have in my high tier, right? And then you can build a strategy based off of that. The more you know, right? Reason. Why do donors give? Are they giving based on a fundraiser prompt? Are they giving based on a media prompt, a special event? Right? Why do your donors give? And you need to know that. Interest. What topics are donors most interested in? Is it a specific program? Is it a specific campaign? Are they giving to a specific fund? Why are donors giving? Right? And then type. What type of donor is it? Is it a fundraiser, a corporate sponsor, a recurring donor? All of these things represent significant and specific campaigns and outreach strategies that you can have with your people. So here's exactly what I do. Literally, I still do this today, right? I will sit down with an organization. I say, okay, if your goal is $50,000, you're going to try to find 4 major donors, and not even find, you're going to reach out, you're going to invite 4 major donors and sponsors to give $5,000 each. That'll be $20,000. And that's going to give you, you're basing it off of your donor amount. You're going to find 15 past fundraisers to raise $1,000 each. That'll be $15,000. Now you're segmenting based on a member type. You're going to find 50 past scholarship donors to give $200 each. That'll be $10,000. And that's segmenting based on a member interest. You're going to find 100 past one-time donors to give $50 each. That's $5,000. You're going to get your segmenting based on a donor frequency. Do you see how much easier it is to hit your fundraising goal when you understand who you're reaching out to and each segment has a goal? Do you see? Major donors, you're asking them to give $5,000. You're not just saying, give. Okay? No more spray and pray method. Okay? No more to say, please, Lord, I need you to donate. Somebody, anybody. What? We're not doing that. You need strategy. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? Real tracking. I built something. We have a segmenting for success workbook. Okay, so if you want, you can scan this QR code, and I literally give you prompts, and we give you a section. We can actually write this all out with your team. Write this out with your team, so you can actually do real segmentation. Okay, it's so incredibly important. Especially as we're leading into the end of year, you need to have a real plan in place. You need to have a real plan in place. Okay? So get this QR code. Don't say I didn't give you nothing, okay? All right. Y'all got that? We'll bring it up towards the end. Next. Now you need to mobilize your supporters. Okay? So many people are like, thank you, Floyd. This is so helpful, but I ain't got nobody to ask. And I'm like, what you? Yes, you do. It's your fierce advocates, your champions, your superstar volunteers, right? Social influencers, thought leaders, people who can actually be a champion for your cause and spread the word for your cause beyond what you can do, right? And the biggest thing that I would say, make it easy for them. People want to get involved. Remember, you are a bridge, okay? You would not be a very effective bridge if you say, go over here and climb this ladder and go under, get them from point A to point B. That's why I always say, create a toolkit. A toolkit is so simple and easy, right? You have approved graphics in there. You have sample copy that people can copy and paste and go all out their way, right? Make it easy. And then one thing that I always also say, one CTA per campaign or per segment. We just talked about this. One call to action per segment per campaign. I see so many people, you send one email and you're like, I'm gonna need you to donate, okay? Volunteer, sign my yearbook, give me your blood type, write me a letter, right? It's too much. It's too much, okay? You are a bridge, okay? Get people from point A to point B seamlessly. Also, consider a participation goal over a financial goal. Sometimes it's okay to say, especially when I was doing campaigns back in the day, I was like, we already know we're going to hit this goal. It's about how many people are we bringing along, because each prospect is a promise. Each prospect. So my goal was every year, how many fundraisers can we get involved? That's one thing I do filter by. How many fundraisers do you have involved, right? How many individual donors do you get involved? And that's why, one more thing I'm gonna say, I've been on my segmentation hill, but this is so important. It's so important because you need to understand what are the actual triggers that are leading you to the outcomes that you want to have. And I promise you, it's not about more posts. It's about more people that you're bringing in, right? And then lastly is sharing your story, okay? So many of you, maybe you don't even know, I don't know. But 2 years ago, I was invited to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for their Greater Giving Summit. They're actually called the Gates Foundation now. And it was so exciting, but it was also a little intimidating because I was in the room with a bunch of CEOs and foundation executives and big philanthropic leaders. And we kept talking all about equity and talking about, at the time, we were only 3 years after the murder of George Floyd. And we saw that $50 billion was pledged from corporate companies all around the country. But to date, not even 5% of that $50 billion has seen the communities that it was meant to see. And so I stood up, little old me, in the room, and I was like, hello, excuse me. Well, and I was talking about my personal story. And I talked about what I had to traverse as a Black leader in this space. And I said, y'all, one thing that I have realized is that we all have power in this room. We represent billions of dollars in this room. Okay? And I said, if we want to do something, if we want to make a change, we have to actually make some action. Put your money where your mouth is what I said, pretty much. Okay? And everyone was like, okay, amen. How do we do that? And I was like, why do I tell you this? Because what did I say at the beginning of this call? People want to make a difference. They just need to know how. And your job is to be a bridge and get them to the other side. So what did I do? I said, hey, well, we know what the stats are. Black-led nonprofits only receive 1% to 2% of funding globally. We also know 53% of Black-led nonprofits rely on only 1 to 2 major donors. 31% of Black-led nonprofits operate on budgets of less than $30,000 a year. 44% of Black-led nonprofits have no full-time staff. So I called everybody in a room. I said, hi, y'all. And we took a selfie, of course, as you know me, okay? But I said, hey, August is Black Philanthropy Month. How about all of you guys use your budgets, use your team, use your action, use your power and your influence to make an impact? And that's when BackBlack was born. That's when BackBlack was born. Y'all, look at this email that I sent. This is the actual email that I sent to my people. I even highlighted, I said, tomorrow, do this. Share this toolkit. I'm telling you this because I practice what I preach. I don't tell you to do things that I don't do. I don't tell you to do things that I don't do. Okay? What was the outcome? Our first campaign, the first campaign that we did 2 years ago, 14,000 unique website views, over 1 million unique impressions, first ranking on Google. If you type in BackBlack, you go see ACDC and me. Bring your people together. This is what it means to mobilize your supporters. But the impact that actually matters, our campaign, we supported over 770 organizations. We raised over $1.3 million for Black-led nonprofits, and we did it in just 5 weeks. Or should I say we helped direct over $1.3 million because we mobilized the people and helped them. Why does this matter? This is what this is about. This is about mobilizing your people and bringing your supporters together. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. And y'all, we have even more funding available this year, which I'm so excited about. And GiveButter, they launched their campaign. They're 100% a part of this, and they've been one of our most loyal partners from the very beginning. They're donating $10,000 away, but we have over $50,000 in total available in funding. Oh, I wish I had time to share that video, but I got to go to Q&A. Okay, how do you light a spark? 3 C's to lighting a spark. Capture attention. Remember, start with the spark, okay? CTA, call to action. What do you want people to actually do? And you got to connect into the story in order to do that, right? Because once they know your story, then they can help you soar. And then consistency. Consistency is key. How often are you communicating with your community, right? Set a cadence and stick with it. People want regular updates and not just another ask, okay? All right, y'all. I want to stay connected. Here's my info to stay connected. I want to make sure I get into some Q&A, okay? Stephanie, hello.
Oh my goodness. First of all, can we light up that chat? Oh my goodness. I've just been to school. I feel like I have my graduate degree in fundraising and momentum. Can we light up the chat and let Floyd know what we thought of this session? Oh my goodness gracious. So much wisdom there. So I want to just highlight first, Floyd, a couple things that you said. You are a bridge. I love that so much. I've heard you say it before, but it was always worth a repeat. You are a bridge. You are the connector. And I think that for me, walking away today is one of the most powerful things I need to keep in my brain. The importance of segmentation. Oh my goodness. Can we get all the snaps for that? That is so spot on, Floyd. So vital, so important when we talk about relationship building. Oh my goodness. And I wrote this other one down too because I love it so much. People want to grow. They want more than just a repeated ask to donate because they need a quote pathway to progress. Pathway.
Did I say that? Come on,
You
somebody.
did,
I
Floyd,
love
you
that.
did.
That hit me again. I said, ooh, that was good.
Listen, I'm just writing down all these amazing quotes. So I'm loving everything. We are taking in so much. I do have a question for you that was posed. So everything that you provided is what a nonprofit can just attack, whether you're a small nonprofit or a large nonprofit, any size. But we've got some folks in the room who have brand new nonprofits. So they're in that early stage. So all of this is applicable. But do you have any kind of tips for kind of, as you have done this before, kind of getting started with a new organization, any other tips or insights that you have for the younger and the newer folks?
Yes, I would say the first thing, because BackBlack is in that stage. In the beginning, it's so important to understand who are your key supporters. Like who are your key people who want to help fuel you? And a lot of times it's in your immediate circle. It's in your immediate sphere of influence. And another reason why I started BackBlack to be honest, is because I realized the saying that your network is your net worth is so true.
Yeah.
It's honestly so true. I mean, the smallest, you know, grant that I would say that we've gotten is $50,000 for BackBlack. That's the smallest because in the beginning I had to call on my people. I had to call on my, because what did I realize? I realized that if I have access to so much opportunity, if I have access to so many people who can move real money, it's now my job to open up the doors for other people. Tomorrow in Atlanta, we have over 200 people signed up. What is that? It's a nonprofit mixer. We're bringing Black-led nonprofits in Atlanta, but we're also bringing together donors, supporters, potential volunteers, potential resource providers, all in that room. And I said, y'all, we gonna come together. Because
Yes.
your network is your net worth. And so many of us are fighting every single day to survive, fighting to keep the lights on, fighting to write another grant. So what are we going to do? We're going to mobilize the people and help you.
Yes.
We're going
Yes.
to mobilize the people so you can go out there and start meeting the right people.
Yeah.
Someone said, when are you coming to Dallas? We coming soon, sis. It's in the list. Okay. But that's what it's about. That
Um,
is what it's about. So what I would say is tap into your people, but then also tap into your people's people. You know what I'm saying? And get out there. You have an amazing vision, but your vision can't live and die with you. You have to go outside. You have to go outside of your walls. You have to share your story, right? And bring people in. Bring them in. Bring them in with you so they can go along with you. Okay?
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Absolutely spot on, Floyd. Such wise words. Start with who you already have. Like you said, it could be your inner circle, friends, family, local contacts and connections. Build and grow, bring them in with you. I love that. And listen, I mean, Floyd's been talking about this event in Atlanta tomorrow. Come on. If anybody's in Atlanta, get over there. I
We got
want
a lot of
to
people
know.
coming. We got funders, we got giving circles, we got a whole bunch of people in that room. Okay.
Amazing, amazing. Oh my goodness, Floyd. One more time in the chat. Can we just light this up for Floyd? I saw Floyd, somebody said this is what the best webinar of the year. Webinar of the year. God is good. Thank you, Floyd. You are great. My ears are out of breath.
Yes.
Like, this has been amazing. Everyone here, of course, you know how we love you over here at Give Butter Floyd, but clearly the folks agree. So thank you for spending some time with us today and sharing your beautiful message. We're cheering you on, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I love this community, and I'm sure I'll be back again in the future.
Oh,
Thank
you will be.
you.
You better be. We're going to hold you to that. Thank you, Floyd. And hey, but don't go away, friends. Don't go away. We've got a couple more things we want to share with you. We're going to get our slides back up there. We are excited to share something really big coming to Give Butter very soon. Join us live on Saturday. I'm sorry. Join us live on September, not Saturday. Hello. September 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern for The Spread, Give Butter's second annual virtual launch event. This year, we're unveiling our boldest release to date, plus brand new features, inspiring nonprofit stories, and live demos to fuel your best year-end giving season yet. The Spread isn't just a product update, it's a celebration of what's possible when changemakers like yourselves have one home for fundraising, donor management and engagement, and operations. So save your spot today by scanning that QR code or clicking the link in the chat. It is free to join, and we cannot wait to see you there. And of course, we've got another slide we got to take a look at because this is really important. Hello, we just heard about this from Floyd, but as a reminder, there's only 5 days left to vote to send Floyd and Max, Give Butter's wonderful CEO, to South by Southwest. Let's smash that link in the chat and vote today because Give Butter and Floyd should absolutely be on the South by Southwest stage. Am I right? Am I right? Who better, right? And last thing as we wrap up, just a few reminders for you. Be sure to sign up for future webinars and office hours sessions hosted by superstar Claudia, of course, so you are set up for success. And hey, join our Give Better fam as well if you haven't already. Connect with your fellow changemakers and our own private community to get exclusive news and to support each other and celebrate together. We'd love to have you in there. And of course, please do provide your feedback through our webinar survey. How was today's session? I mean, we know it was incredible, but we want to hear from you too. How was the session? Any topics or guests that you would like to see? As always, we want to hear straight from you on what you think so we can continue to build these webinars in a way that best serves you. With that, we hope you have a buttery rest of your day, fam, and we will see you next time. Have a great Wednesday. Bye. Thank you for joining. See you next time.